Good evening, everyone. Warm welcome to Business Live. Coming up, National Communications Authority approves Starlink satellite broadband application. We have more for you on that. Also in this bulletin, Nigeria's depreciating currency compelling businesses to smuggle goods to other neighboring countries like Ghana. We have details from a report by Maverick Research. Plus, economist Dr. Edu Owusu-Sarkodie says Ghana would attract matured investments as IMF classifies Ghana as a middle-income country in revised regional economic outlook report.
The basic point is that when you are maturing, you attract matured investments, which will also help you develop your country and deepen your markets and consolidate your gains as well.
We have details of these and many others lined up for you. Please stay. Thanks so much for your company. I am Pius Kojo Baka. A look now at our stories. The National Communications Authority says it has approved SpaceX Starlink GH Limited, the operator of Starlink satellite broadband, to provide satellite broadband services in Ghana. A statement issued by the NCA on Thursday, April 25, to announce the approval said the approval of the application follows the policy approval of the satellite licensing framework in Ghana by the Ministry of Communications and Digitalization. More in the following Business Desk report.
The National Communications Authority says it has approved SpaceX Starlink Ghana Limited, the operator of Starlink satellite broadband, to provide satellite broadband services in Ghana. In a statement issued by the NCA on Thursday, April 25, to announce the approval, it said the application follows the policy approval of the satellite licensing framework in Ghana by the Ministry of Communications and Digitalization. It also added that the administrative processes towards the issuance of the license is ongoing and will be completed shortly. The approval of Starlink satellite broadband is expected to contribute to the current mix of internet supply. Again, it's expected to be used as a backup in the case of unlikely fiber internet outages.
And to some other stories we are following up for you, the shopping spree in Lagos, Nigeria can turn into a windfall sale in Accra thanks to a wave on unauthorized imports fueled by Nigeria's plummeting Naira. That's according to Maverick Research. Now, it says entrepreneurs dubbed clandestine traders are exploiting the currency disparity to smuggle consumables across porous West African borders, including Ghana. Here's more in this report.
Maverick Research's source of analysis of the leading fast-moving consumer goods brands indicates a surge in grey products of popular fast-moving brands from Nigeria to Ghana and Cameroon. According to the research firm, this is due to currency chaos, porous borders, and brand recognition. For instance, it said the Naira's weakness against regional currencies like the cedi creates a significant price gap, making Nigerian goods incredibly cheap for neighboring countries. Furthermore, Nigeria's ban on importing finished soaps and detergents forces local manufacturers to rely on exports to neighboring countries under the ECOWAS trade liberalization scheme. This scheme, Maverick Research said, allows them to access the foreign exchange needed for raw material purchases. However, it pointed out that the influx of smuggled detergents disrupts this strategy. Meanwhile, companies are fighting back to combat the surge in grey market goods.
Let's understand this research further. Joining me via Zoom to do that is Atumaika, CEO of Maverick Research, for more on this. Thanks so much, Atumaika, for agreeing to speak to us on Business Live. Now, give us some more insights on the research and why the businesses are smuggling goods to Ghana.
So, thank you very much. What the research unveiled was the fact that the profit motive as a result of companies producing, popular brands producing in Nigeria, it was so huge, right? And in the case study for the research, you had a detergent brand that was produced shipped basically production and on shelf in Nigeria for about $3. And in Ghana, that's exact same product produced by the manufacturer is being sold at $12, right? And so you can see the huge difference. The price, the arbitrage and the profit motivation is so huge that you have traders who are able to find ways and means to get the product across the border and take advantage of the profit. The impact to the manufacturers or the companies in Ghana is that they obviously will ship in, will pay the right taxes and charge VAT. And if they do that, they have to sell at $12 or whatever the right price should be. And obviously cannot compete. I mean, there's no way you can compete with 100% price difference between the two markets for the exact same good.
And I'm very much interested in knowing the impact this would have. Would you say that this can negatively affect Ghana's economy?
Absolutely. And I think that's something that the FMCG industry is reeling under. I mean, in the article, you heard from Indomie, you heard from So Clean, in terms of some of the industry engagement that we had, right? And so what that means is they can't sell more in Ghana. So obviously profits and sales are down and erode. If they can't sell more, they can't make more profits. They can't invest in growing their businesses. If they don't grow their businesses, they would have to lay off and contract the businesses. So the ripple effect is quite far and reaching, right? It would impact VAT, the VAT that is the government collects, and a whole range of taxes. If they lay off people, payroll taxes and all those things will be impacted too as well.
And do you think that the development will stop anytime soon if the Naira really stabilizes?
Well, if the Naira stabilizes, then it will stop, right? The Naira stabilizes, the CD stabilizes. What you then have will be a normalization of prices between the markets, right? What has even made it more attractive, especially in the Francophone markets, is obviously the CFA has strengthened as a result of its link to the euro, right? And so it's even much more attractive there as well. So stabilization of the Naira definitely will be the ultimate, right? But what we've seen over the past, and it's the difference with this is the fact that it's so prolonged this time around, right? And so we are almost 8 months, or almost eight to 10 months into a very volatile Naira in a market that has huge production capability and capacity in this neighborhood. So the stabilization of the Naira definitely will be the ultimate solve for this. But in the meantime, I think regulation, our regulatory bodies need to help enforce the laws to make sure that the right taxes are collected, and products that are unauthorized from a trader standpoint are guarded, and there's also incentive for traders to buy from the appropriate sources for these brands.
Atumaika, we are indeed grateful speaking to us on Business Live. He is the CEO of Maverick Research, with their latest research coming out about the impact the Naira is having on porous borders, including Ghana, leading to some smuggling of goods into these countries. Thanks so much, Micah. To some other stories, Ghana has now been classified as a middle-income country in the IMF's revised Regional Economic Outlook released yesterday. The fund had in the past publications classified Ghana as a lower middle-income country. Economist Dr. Edu Owusu-Sakodia further explains what this would mean to Ghana when it comes to borrowings from the World Bank and the IMF, as well as lending from the commercial market.
It's just like an adolescent trying to grow. I mean, when you tell your parents that you're now matured, you stop taking money from your parents. And but the positive side of it is that you find your own way. This is saying that you don't give fish, you teach the person how to fish. So, and then it's true that since Ghana attained middle income status in 2010, the donor contributions to Ghana has been declining. and even concessional loans has been declining, and we have gone to the commercial market. And so that is a negative part of it. You lose, some of these donor contributions, and because they turn their attentions to more poorer countries like Sudan, Eritrea, Niger, and those countries. And so for you to be in the middle, for you to be seen as a more matured country, I think that the positive takeaway will be to attract investment. For me, that's why I place my bet that we should go for more investment, the FDI, and make sure that we identify areas that we want these foreign investors to go into, maybe agri, or today we are talking about artificial intelligence. We are talking about so many aspects of the economy. So it will give you that platform to attract investors, because when you are matured, your financial market begins to develop, and there wouldn't be, you wouldn't suffer to even raise finances domestically. I think the president talked about Africa having its own domestic market where we can draw funds from without necessarily going to the global, the external market, because you and I know that the global financial architecture doesn't favor African countries at all. For example, we go to the same market to borrow at 9%, but countries like Japan go to borrow at 2%. So it is incumbent on us to develop our own domestic market. But the positive point is that when you are maturing, you attract, matured investments, which will also help you develop your country and deepen your markets and consolidate your gains as well. So if the donor contributions are declining, we shouldn't worry so much. We should rather do more partnership, attract investment. And that will even help us more than being given fish. It's better to start looking for your own fish than to be given fish.
Let's stay a while longer on issues that has to do with the economy, because lecturer at the University of Ghana Business School, Professor Godfred Amewu, is advocating diversified investments for retirement income. According to him, this has become necessary as a sure way to escape the global volatility in the investment market. Professor Amewu was speaking to journalists after addressing the MIG Business Forum volume here in Accra.
The second edition of the MIG Business Forum focused on retirement planning and financial literacy for lower and middle-class income earners in the country. The call to diversify follows recent happenings in the local economy, which resulted in many losing their investments and incomes. According to Professor Godfred Amewu, ongoing challenges with the economy are temporary and must not be a discouragement for retirement planning. He therefore called for a diversification of retirement funds in order to escape the uncertainties.
Diversification has a key role of minimizing your risk. So as an individual, if you don't diversify, you put all your assets into one particular investment. When the risk strikes, you could lose, and you might even lose everything. So as you plan your retirement or you plan your finances, you need to diversify. Put some into maybe treasury bill, a bit into real estate, a bit into fixed income securities, then the equity market. You can even look at the cryptocurrency market. It's all diversification so that they all bring their returns together, and when the risk strike from one end, the other ends will be available to cushion you.
Chief Executive of the Maxwell Investment Group, organizers of the event, Dr. Maxwell Ampong, reiterated the need for financial literacy for all levels of income earners to expand the economy.
Investments or putting where you put your money, it's like breathing. You cannot avoid it. You have to choose one way or the other to get oxygen, to get some oxygen into your lungs, or you die. True or false? It's the same with money. It's the same with investments. It's the same with your spending. It's the same with your finance. You have to find a way to go around it. Maxwell Investment Group just contributes in our own little way to doing this by shows like Entrepreneur U, like forums like the MIG Business Forum, like what is coming to, we'll soon have Innovation Over Tea with, at the Kempinski Gold Coast Hotel. These are just contributions that we have. We do not assume we have all the answers. What we can do is to contribute to the substrate upon which these answers are going to be built.
The forum was themed The Impact of Financial Literacy in Post-Retirement Financial Security.
You're still watching Business Live. We've got great discussion for you after this break. Hello, welcome back to Business Live. Now, in today's fast-paced and ever-evolving business landscape, small businesses face a lot of challenges and opportunities equally. Now, from emerging technologies to adapt to shifting consumer behaviors, businesses of all sizes must navigate a complex web of factors to thrive in today's market. On Business Live today, we delve into a series of expert insights and strategies aimed at empowering small business owners to overcome obstacles, drive growth, and stay ahead of the curve. Joining me in studio today to speak to these matters is Daniel Apia, Head of Business Banking at Calbank. Daniel, thanks so much for
joining me. Thank you.
Good to see you.
Good to see you.
It's been a while.
Yeah, it's been a while, yes.
All right, so when we talk about SMEs and, of course, the challenges that comes along with it, i.e. Technology, how do businesses take advantage of these developments and stay afloat?
Thank you. I think for every business to survive, times are changing. And right now in a technological environment where everything is based on technology, social media, digital ways of doing things, businesses need to find a way to get into it. One, before a business can get into any of these technological spheres, you first need to look at the ideals of the business. What did you set up the business for? What is the business trying to do? Who are the people the business is trying to reach? Now, once you can establish these things, then you know which type of technology to use. Because mind you, if, let's say you're a tomato seller in the market, and the person doesn't even have the knowledge on how to use the technology, and you tell them that, okay, use technology, what type of technology can they use? But then I've seen tomato sellers who have transitioned to Facebook, who have transitioned to some of these e-market portals, where they are able to actually, now they move from now buying the tomatoes to sell, to now being aggregators, where they go online, and because everybody knows them to sell tomatoes, people bring them their grocery lists. And then they now go to the market, and then they purchase, put their margins on it, and then they come and sell. So the idea more is about understanding your business, knowing what you are trying to achieve with the business, what is the audience you are trying to reach, and then what technology can help you to do that.
And is it a shortfall you've seen our SME face now?
Well, over time, a lot of our SMEs are beginning to grasp that and do that. But a lot more are also sticking to the traditional way of doing things, which is not helping. So you would have businesses who will tell you that this is how we have done things in the past. Well, sometimes it gives you some bit of stability and safety, but smooth seas never made a sailor. So it's a challenge, but I think a lot of businesses are coming out of that and beginning to embrace the technology that is available. I mean, right now we're all talking about AI.
Yeah.
And when you get into it, you find out the amazing capabilities of using AI to be able to look at analytics. Even going on your Facebook profile as a business, how you can actually talk to it and find out how many people are hitting on your business, which demographics are hitting on your business. Just to give you some insights as to how to be able to package your product. I always tell people that most of the time it's not necessarily about the product you are selling, because the person next door is selling the same product. But it's about how the product is packaged, how it is offered, and who is offering it. That makes the difference.
Right.
And that is what technology gives. So businesses that are able to understand this and get into that space begin to do well.
And I'm wondering how they can align their strategies to, be at par with the current trend.
Strategy is ever evolving. Okay. So any business that does a strategy and decides that my strategy is static is aiming to die. So as a business, even though you might have your strategy as to what exactly you are trying to do and how you would want to do it, once there are emerging technologies in your space, how do you then now realign your strategy to incorporate those technologies into it? The other bit too is that a lot of businesses now do not want to invest money into paying for technology that will promulgate or push their business forward. So you look at their strategy, and their strategy is looking at the traditional ways of, let me market it this way, let me do it this way. But then you realize that if you can incorporate that into your strategy and then decide to actually invest, it will help the business. So like you said, strategy is ever evolving, and every business has to actually find a way of actually incorporating technology into their business.
All right. So in what way do you think businesses can, articulate to their customers or consumers the relevance of sustainability?
The big S word.
Yeah.
I mean, I was reading something on Gen Z, the young people now.
Yeah.
And one key thing that stuck out for me was that if you're a business and your business is not sustainable, you're not looking at protecting the environment, you're not looking at protecting the ozone layer and these things, Gen Zs will shy away from you. It's become increasingly, last 2 years, Carbank, we did a roadshow across the country where we went informing businesses and trying to teach them how to move their businesses onto sustainable ways of doing things with renewable energy. These are conversations that are coming up, and for any business that want to survive, businesses that even want to scale off the shores of Ghana and actually go global, sustainability has become a key thing. I mean, imagine that you have these big conglomerates all over the world where they need to have carbon credits on their balance sheet. So they are now actually voting money to go around and look for businesses that will actually use renewable energy to generate the carbon credits. So it's become a big thing. And across the world, consumers are beginning to realize that if you are not protecting the air I breathe, if you are not protecting the world I live in, then why should I buy from you? So it's become a big thing, and businesses need to start looking at that, because once you look at that, you attract the right kind of crowd who would want to deal with you.
And Daniel, talk to me about the strategies, marketing strategies for that matter, businesses can adopt this time.
Marketing now, like my former lecturer will tell you, has moved into different spheres. And now it's more about the digital area. For instance, the different demographics we deal with.
Right.
If you are dealing with the Gen Ys and then the old age people, then you're looking at the traditional media, TV, radio, newspapers, billboards. But then the Gen Zs are constantly on their phone. So then you're looking at how you can even get into social media. But even with social media, not just getting into social media, but creating the aura around your business that will drive them to your page. So for instance, I've seen businesses that have now moved to TikTok, where they're doing these short videos, you know, that kind of puts a sort of aura around their business where people, is creating fun, is creating things people can laugh with, but is drawing attention to their business. Businesses that have an official Twitter handle or X handle, where they follow trends and they follow various topics that are going on and consistently post, where people retweet them. So over time, people come to now see your business as synonymous with driving that kind of behavior. And then they start asking about your business. The Facebook marketplace. I mean, even if you talk about even Carbank, we have what we call CarPay, where is a marketplace where businesses are actually there and they can actually advertise their products for people to buy direct from them. So marketing has moved to different, like I said in the beginning, the products are basically the same across board.
All right.
What customers are looking at is how it is offered, who is offering it, and in what phase it is being offered in.
Ultimately, you are looking forward to making profits and what have you. But this time around, you also want to stay ahead of your competitor. How do you distinguish yourself from your competitor?
Every business, thank you, every business has what you call the unique selling proposition of the business. You would find, let me give you a typical example. Right. So I buy Kofi Brookman on the Hacho, Atomic Road. There's one particular lady all the way heading towards the Atomic Road. You'd find about 6 or so before her. But a lot of times I'll drive past all of them and get to her, and a lot of people do that. Why? Because when you get to her dressing alone.
Okay.
So in a very competitive environment, in a very competitive market, it's about how you offer and what you offer, in what phase, and how you present what you are selling. That attracts. Once you know the people you are trying to reach and you know what they are looking out for, and then you're able to place your product to look like what they are looking out for, then, I mean, selling is a perception. Buying is a perception. Value is a perception. There's something called the value equation, where everybody's perception is different. So once you're able to meet that perception of value for them, you've won them over.
All right. Quickly in a minute, if you can do that for me. I know there are risks to all of these. What measures would you prefer? Maybe 1 or 2.
As a business, just do your risk assessment. Every business has to do a risk assessment of the marketing which they operate, and the space in which they operate. Once you do your risk assessment, it identifies the key risks that are peculiar to your business.
Right.
And then you can put in place mitigating measures to be able to, avoid those pitfalls.
Right. Daniel Appiah, thanks so much for joining me in studio here on Business Life. We are indeed grateful. And
thank you so much, Pius. Thank you for having me.
Great. Thanks so much for watching Business Life with me, Pius Kojo Baka. For more stories, do log on to myjoyonline.com/business. Good stories there. Yeah. See you next week. Bye-bye.